I will start with a question. We will have to use the mics for the video. Jatin, you believe in using technology and innovative approaches for social good and in the benefit of humankind. So it's a very, very strong social drive. Is there a real opportunity for entrepreneurs to make money while helping the world?
So I think this is a classic challenge where, do you want to make money or do you want to just do social good? I think there is an opportunity to invent a new ecosystem where all benefit. Profits are important, obviously, in order to drive the ecosystem. But at the same time, by taking a position that we need to focus on the social good, at least from my point of view, we're trying to make an intervention that nobody's thinking about those dimensions. People are only thinking about making money out of technology, which is great. I mean, everybody benefits from that. But at the same time, there are some basic things that the citizens don't get, which we all expect through, Uber or any kind of apps that we have. And there are not enough activities around improving the social dimension of our society, specifically around how people are kept informed about the changing world, the challenges, and everything else. So I think it is interesting, but I think we have to start by actually having a debate about this, that something needs to be done. Nothing else is happening at the moment.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a question around your operating model in BBC. Obviously, you have a big portfolio of products, and I was wondering how you deliver products for your customers and how your setup is.
Yeah, so within the technology division itself, we are broadly divided into three broad categories. One is broadcast, which is where we have a team, an operating model that just focuses on improving and continuously delivering towards radio and television medium. Then we have enterprise, which is all about the technology that we use within the BBC to make sure that our employees are able to do the jobs. And then the third category is the digital teams who are focusing on digital products like iPlayer, BBC Sport, and everything that you see online. The operating models are very different for all of them. They're not exactly the same, and they're not standardized. And that's driven by the fact that within the BBC, we have many different cultures. So for example, the broadcasting community, which is driven by the editorial and journalists community, work very differently. They are very event-driven. They are very driven by the fact that everything has to be up online 24/7. So the requirement and the way you approach some of those challenges is very different to online, which actually started as a secondary way of delivering our content to our audiences, not the primary way. And within digital specifically, we are organized broadly by products. There is an iPlayer team whose job is just to focus on delivering iPlayer changes and everything else. Then there is sounds team, and then so on and so forth. So broadly speaking, there are 8 key products that we have in our portfolio that we believe are the most important products for us to deliver. They're all dedicated to specific products. Not a huge amount of dependency. The only dependency comes in when we have shared platforms. So all of these products use some sort of shared platform. So there's a platform team as well, which provides some common capabilities to all of them. So for example, the way we go about making our content available on the internet, each products are not responsible for that. The platform team delivers those services. So the dependency from these product teams is on the platform team, but the engineering teams are very locally managed. So there are no shared engineering teams.
Okay, one question from me. How is big data used at the BBC, especially to shape its programs and agenda?
At the moment, not that much, to be honest. We have quite a lot of data, but not useful data just yet. I think we are in the process of maturing our capability in terms of, one, getting better understanding of the type of data that we have, Our industry suffers from what we refer to as the metadata paralysis, which is we have quite a lot of content, but we don't have enough insight and information about our content. And it's an industry-wide problem, so BBC is taking a lead in extracting more insight and data about our content so that we are able to not only improve our recommendations, but also we are able to potentially build automated stories between different pieces of content. I mean, for example, if you are interested in health, you shouldn't have to go and search through all the health videos or podcasts or audio recordings that we might have. We want to make it easier for you to consume everything related to health, for example. So I would say that we've started the journey. We're not there yet. We're doing huge amount of extraction of data about our content first.
Yeah, because there's a very big need. But should we fear too much data-driven content can divert its focus on public service? I mean, especially news organizations like the BBC. Is too much data or focus on the data a problem?
So I think data can be used in a positive way, and actually it can enhance public service propositions. And this is the reason I emphasized on the data about our content, not data about our audiences and their consumption. And there's a big distinction there, which is if we can make it easier for you to get access to everything that you need, irrespective of what your consumption history or what you might have done with the BBC, I think that goes towards actually providing a better public service. I'll give another example. I don't know if you've watched this program called Trust Me, I'm a Doctor. Trust Me, I'm a Doctor is a BBC program that's been running for many, many years. Every year they do, I think, about 6 or 7 episodes. The program's role is to demystify all the medical and health conditions. So, for example, if you are suffering with celiac, or if you're suffering with all sorts of allergies and things like that, that program actually does a lot of individual investigation, research, and demystifies it for our audiences. Now, imagine that at the moment it's a yearly thing. Once a year, that program is run, and then it's over 6 days or 7 days, and that's it. There is no engagement with that piece of content. Now imagine a situation that, Trust Me, I'm a Doctor program actually continues to engage with our audiences through online means, not only about, giving you information about different things, but the medical conditions and factors change quite a lot. So they are able to then potentially update their services through data. And that way, I think the data services can enhance the public service, rather than being scared of it being a thing that will know everything about you, which is not the reason we'll be doing it.
Yeah, definitely. And I would have another question. You know about smart headphones and smart glasses? Everybody says that the next decade will be marked by those smart assistants that talk with us, or display information right in front of our eyes. But the problem is that when you talk with them, you only get the first answer in a search engine, no matter what search engine is. How can a high quality news organization balance its content and its brand in a world where most of the people will start getting their info, just a tidbit of information, just by talking with a robot? Where's the brand in all of this?
And this is a very hot topic at the moment for us as well. And this is about BBC's attribution and prominence. So that's how we talk about this, which is in the world of technology-driven aggregators. So most of those assistants that you mentioned, they're aggregators. They're aggregators of content. And there are algorithms that decide which piece of content surfaces first. So it's not an easy conversation. So at the moment, it's about BBC having those discussions with those organizations around how do you need to build trust with with the audiences and the users that they have. BBC is already a trusted organization, so we can leverage on that. But it's not that straightforward. People are driven by all sorts of different factors. So it's not an easy thing for us. At the moment, we have quite a lot of challenges around making sure that the BBC content appears first. And this is not a new problem for us because, I mean, you know, in the traditional broadcasting world as well, we've got various, you know, cable providers. In there as well, BBC's prominence has always been a debate and always has been a challenge. Within the UK, we are able to manage that, but through traditional mediums. But on the internet, where these smart services are emerging, it's very difficult. So it may be that, you know, we have better relationships with these organizations where we are able to make cases for some of these things. And in other cases, we might also have to think about assistants that can interact with their assistants.
So how soon we got AI BBC bot giving us personalized news? Just calling, hey BBC, tell me about the news.
So it's an opportunity, and we are working with major assistants that are out there to make sure that our services appear on their platform. So we already have Alexa, for example, on the Amazon ecosystem, where, you know, you do, within the UK at least, you do get BBC programs, and we've been working really well with them. Convincing the wider ecosystem is a journey. Again, we are experimenting with BBC Assistant, if that was a thing that we think we wanted to do, which, you know, I'm not convinced yet, but certainly we do have to do something around that to raise the awareness and have a conversation, meaningful conversation. I think with the technology vendors and these ecosystems, there's also an opportunity to work with news providers and publishers and public service broadcasters to improve the way some of the content appears.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.